Okay, now we have another map. You can see Cosenza, and there's that.
Spezzano. Yeah, there were two places that I saw names years ago. One was Spezzano, and the other was, I guess they pronounced Chilico.
Does he have it written down there on the map?
No, but the names are there.
Let me see.
This is Chilico, and this is Spezzano. Now, normally they would say something about Spezzano being in what they call the Sila, but I don't see.
Well, here's Sila.
Oh, right.
See Sila Grande?
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
And up here we have Sila Greca.
Mm-hmm.
See that?
Yeah. Yeah. What is that? GRECS? Or what is something else?
Let me see. It's an A. Greca. Greca.
Greca, okay.
Sila Greca.
Yeah. But this was the Sila that our folks came from.
Yeah, Sila Grande.
Mm-hmm.
So you and Mom drove from Cosenza up to Spezzano?
Yeah, up to Spezzano.
Okay.
And I don't want to leave out Chilica because they sort of had went back to earlier times, and apparently there was maybe maybe between the two houses, they I guess had addresses for either one of them.
I mean, because of two different women.
Yes. Yeah.
Anthony's first wife was Catherine Benite.
Yeah, I don't know what the other one is.
You can see from this map. He had many children with her. Philip, John, Joe, Frank, Vincent, Genevieve, Bill, who was in Easton. Genevieve was farmed out
Yeah.
to work in a family.
Yeah.
Vincent lived at home with the stepmom and sold candy. Frank had 5 children with Aunt Margaret
Yeah.
and lived in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
And you're also saying that in Anthony's second marriage, Lucy was invited to go live with Uncle Frank, right?
Yeah. In fact, I think she lived there while she went to nursing school. And my Aunt Margaret was a nurse. She had graduated from nursing school,
Okay.
and she was the one that arranged for Lucy to get her nursing degree.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is Anthony came over here, we're going to guess. Let me see, because I figured this out. Your dad graduated from high school in 1909. So I'm putting him as being born in 1892, and you're saying his father, Anthony, went back to Italy to get his wife, Catherine Gravite,
Yeah.
and brought your father,
Yeah.
Philip, over.
Right.
And that would be about 1894.
That's right.
Okay. And So first he came over and checked out Easton. Do you have any idea what brought him to Easton particularly? Did he have a friend or Uncle Patsy, his brother, went to Easton as well, didn't he?
He did, but I think that was after. I think he went up there to find work,
Uh-huh.
and he did find it. Worked on that part of the railroad that went from Easton to I think up in the coal region somewhere. I'm not exactly sure the name of it. Lehighton or something like that.
Lehighton up by, I know where that is. That's up by Jim Thorpe.
Mm-hmm.
This is very interesting.
That's how they would they'd go out and build these things.
Some other notes we have here, Dad. So you're saying that Uncle Patsy, his brother, and what was his real name? Patrick?
Well, whatever that is translated to.
Okay, well, he ended up in the same area, and then Anthony had other brothers that went to Brazil. And he had some other brothers, or maybe one brother, that went to Niagara Falls. So we have some relatives up there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. And you say Anthony worked on the, he was like a mason?
Yes.
He worked building bridges?
Yes, they built these big stone underpinnings to the I guess, to the bridges that went across either water or dry land. You know.
Dad, with all these kids that Anthony had with two different families, by the time you came along, what are your recollections of your grandfather? Did he talk much? I know he didn't speak English, he spoke Italian, but did he ever pick you up and say, hi, how you doing? Or
Oh yeah, give me a big kiss with that wine-soaked mustache that he had, which was quite unusual.
was he proud of your education and the fact that you had met a woman from far away in Iowa?
No, he didn't even know that.
He didn't even know that?
No, because he died in 1950.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't. I was married, 1940, but I wasn't anywhere near where he was.
And back in those days, it wasn't like you had a lot of contact with people anyway, like you do now, was it?
That's right.
Mostly it was in the form of a written letter, wasn't it?
It was generally. Yeah.
What do you remember about your grandfather that, besides his wine-soaked mustache?
Well, he was always happy to see me, and nice big smile, and a pat on the head or something. But he worked. I think he was injured in his job with the Mason outfit, and he could no longer handle the big job. So he got on a crew in Easton, and they used to put in all the sewers and everything like that. They'd be out there digging up ditches and so forth.
Wow.
I'd see him occasionally
You would?
when I was growing up.
Very interesting. Is it true that he made wine during Prohibition?
Oh yeah, I think everybody did, but I think they stayed within limits.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
And I know that somebody had told me, and I can't remember who it was, but it said that he would kind of put aside the money where he would import from, I guess they came from California, the grapes to make the wine from.
Really?
Yes, and they would. A number of people would go to New York when the train came in, and they would load it up and bring it up to our area there, Easton. And I don't know how they arranged that to carry it up or bring it on a train or whatever. But at any rate, they brought up the wine, grapes, and they made wine, and they did that every year. They always had wine. But the one problem that they had was that apparently something happened within either the barrel was deficient or something, but the barrel broke and they lost all their wine for 1 year.
Oh my God.
And I think that he was able to buy a little bit, brought back to do that.
That's a big loss.
Yeah.
Do you ever remember your father, Philip, and his father, Tony, talking at all or being in the same room together?
I remember my father, when he was working for the Prudential Insurance Company, he needed to, in addition to collecting up all the pennies and dimes, that they collected in those days, he would have to sell them insurance policies, which he did, and he did very well. Well, what happened was that let me think, how did he do that?
You mean your dad sold insurance policies to your grandfather?
Well, he sold it to anybody. See, he had a territory where he had the right to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought income, and they did quite well, I have to say, with the Prudential Insurance. What a nice home down in Stewartsville. And I don't know whether I've ever talked to you about Stewartsville.
Yeah, we've been by there when we did our trip. Well, it's interesting, we're kind of so easy to drift off the subject, but this one day, hopefully, I'd like to revisit and go to this area. And when you went to Spezzano, you and Mom went to a church, didn't you, to try to look up records?
She did. She went up to both of these churches.
The Catholic Church in Spezzano and Selico?
Selico.
I remember another name that you guys used to say that I can't remember. It's probably on that map that I have at home. But what did she find when she got there? What were you actually looking for? Records of Philip's father?
Yes. Here's one of some records. And we're finding it back to the hotel in Sorrento.
Yeah.
And there we ran into a woman who could speak. She was a tour guide.
Yeah.
And she could speak Italian as well as get information for us. And she did. She got some information that I think is part of that collection that we, either Monica has or Katie has or somebody has.
I don't have it, but I remember a lot of it, and we'll get a hold of that paperwork later.
Sure. Yeah.
What, did you ever remember the name of Anthony's father?
His name was Philip.
His name was Philip.
Yeah.
So your father was named after his grandfather.
Yeah, it was sort of a subject that carried on.
Wow. Did your dad ever visit that part of Italy after he came to America when he was 2? Never.